All right, big fight this weekend. Sergio Martinez, Miguel Cotto. How did you guys have it predicted before the fight, and what did you think about how it played out?
You know, it was a good fight, man. I predicted that Cotto was gonna beat him. But I didn't think he was gonna stop him. But you know, it was a real good fight. You know, Cotto came and surprised him with the left hooks. I don't think he was, you know, I don't think he was used to that. You know, he probably used to most of the right hands coming, but Cotto was hitting him with the left hook.
Right.
So.
And also, I think, you know, what really got him was that I was at home. You know what I'm saying? And it was right when, you know, it's Puerto Rican Day Parade weekend or whatever. That brings a whole different, you know what I'm saying, animal out of you when you're at home and you got those people behind you and everybody else is against the other guy. So I just think it was just the whole, you know, the whole thing. Cotto's a legend.
So were you surprised with Cotto being a smaller guy that he was able to, you know, kind of dominate him, especially so quickly?
Yeah, a little bit. Only thing I think is because, not really because of the, what's his name's legs, you know what I'm saying? That's the main thing. If you don't have legs, you don't have anything, you know what I'm saying? You can punch all you want, but you can't stand in a phone booth. It's 20 by 20, you know what I'm saying? 20, we got a lot of room.
And also, he got caught, you know, at the end, once you get caught with them little gloves, you know, that could be the end of the whole fight. He got caught early.
So now, of course, everybody's saying, you know, calling for Cotto and Floyd. Any chance we'll see Cotto-Floyd too? And would you like to see that?
Man,
I think that is the best move too, because it's the best money-making move, and then, you know, he's coming off of a win, Cotto, and that was a decent, tough little fight for Floyd. You know, that was his biggest competition, so it only makes sense.
And when we say you two for real?
Fight?
Yeah.
When we making 40 million apiece.
Not become heavyweight or something.
Okay, so we talked earlier, you said you didn't see the fight, but obviously Miguel Cotto, Sergio Martinez, Cotto looked awesome this weekend, impressed a lot of people. Now the talk has turned to possibly a rematch between Cotto and your son Floyd. Thoughts on the possibility of that being a fight?
Floyd, Cotto.
Yeah.
I tell you what it would be. It would be a repeat. A repeat. Exactly.
Well, Cotto did fairly well. I mean, he obviously lost the fight, but he did better than most have done against Floyd. You think that he has anything the second time around, anything he would have learned that he could bring different?
I tell you what he'd do again. He would do a repeat. And it ain't too much more to say about that, because you better remember, before the daddy wasn't there. Floyd daddy wasn't there. I guess Freddie Roach gonna be his daddy.
Well, that's the thing. People are saying Freddie Roach kind of turned his career around, and Cotto's a different fighter under him.
Man, Cotto ain't shit, and Freddie Roach ain't shit either. That's why you call him Freddie the Joke Coach Roach.
Were you Sergio Martinez a couple years ago, when he was more in his prime, was a name that people had brought up as a possibility of Floyd, and then obviously Floyd, it's ridiculous with the weight difference, but now Cotto fought him. So were you surprised that Cotto was able to hang with him?
Man,
or to dominate him, actually?
Anybody can dominate you. Anybody can dominate you, man, but your fucking hand ain't no fucking good. Goddamn it, your back ain't no damn good. You got 2 knee surgeries, man. You need to set your ass down. That's what you need to do.
So basically, you don't think with Roach anything's different with Cotto if this fight happens?
None of that shit. Little Floyd would have beat his ass worse than that. Little Floyd would have stopped him.
Yeah. So
earlier, I would say.
Earlier was. Well, then who out there? I mean, anything that you think is as far as the names? I know we're supposed to get the names shortly. The possibility out there. Who would you like to see? Who would be the most fun fight for Floyd? I mean, is it the Thurman, the Danny Garcia, the Cotto?
Look, man, look at all them getting their turns and all them getting their ass whooped. Yeah. All they doing is getting lined up for another ass whooping. You know, that happened 46 times.
So basically, what we're saying is, even though you didn't see the fight, nothing Cotto did the other night that would impress you at all.
It ain't impressed me. I ain't even seen it. It ain't impressed me. Shit. That's what I know about it. I did not even see the fight, and it wouldn't have impressed me if I'd have seen it, because I know what the fuck was going on.
All right, Floyd, appreciate it.
Floyd been whooping their ass for years.
The last thing, actually, real quick. I mean, that aside, do you think that's a possibility that fight gets made? Considering his performance, even though you weren't impressed with it, do you think it's a possibility now that it's in the running or a likely fight?
They can say what they want to say. Let me tell you this right here. If I was Floyd, here's what I would do. I would tell you, son of a bitch, you pay me more money. Get more. I'm just saying, it's there to get, man. You got to do it. You got to do it. I mean, there ain't no reason for him to go in there with nobody as rough as they call Cotto. Why you want to go in there and take the same thing? Yeah. Load it up and let's go. Let's do it.
All right, appreciate it, Team.
Oh man, Cotto came out. He had an excellent display of boxing. He caught Sergio early, and it went the way it should have went. I mean, he took a long break. So and Cotto been active. He didn't have a couple of good fights recently. So I mean, it didn't surprise me that he came out and did what he did. It was more surprising that Sergio wasn't able to weather the storm, because that's the type of fighter Sergio is.
Yeah, Martinez was a big favorite going into the fight. Were you surprised that Cotto dominated so much?
Yeah, the amount of dominance. I mean, I knew he was going to have certain spots in the fight where he was going to be the more dominant fighter, but he came off, he was sharp all, what was it, 10 rounds? He was sharp the whole fight, and I was really impressed with his performance, and congratulations to Cotto.
And then what about him being the smaller fighter? Were you surprised that Martinez was kind of not the one looking to engage as much?
I wasn't surprised, because you got to think with a fighter of brawlers such as Cotto, he's coming and he's in a division where he throws a lot of punches. So as long as he's not scared, he's going to do exactly what he did, which was get in there and engage and throw a lot of punches. And he was sharper to the draw, quicker to the draw in that fight right there.
And then with a performance like that, obviously everyone's bringing up Floyd. Would you like to see that fight again?
He already been beat. I mean, it is what it is. If that's the fight that comes, then that's the fight that comes. But I've already seen it. So, I mean, Floyd's going to box his head off again. But but Cotto is. And that doesn't take nothing away from Cotto's performance on Saturday.
I think it was just a case of a better training camp for Cotto and overtraining for Martinez. You know, his age caught up with him tonight.
Yeah, you think he shot?
Yeah, I think it was probably the training camp and his age it caught up with him. Yeah, and Cotto, you know, he's been looking better since he got with Freddie Roach. So, you know.
So everyone was talking, obviously, now after Cotto wins impressively like that, Floyd and Cotto. Is that a fight you think would be interesting at this point? See a rematch?
It might end up being one of the few and only fights out there, you know, for Floyd. You know, after him dominating guys like Canelo and taking on guys like McDonough, you know, you want to see somebody you would like to see somebody like Cotto. I mean, you know, so I wouldn't be shocked if it did happen again. I wouldn't be shocked if Cotto happened again before McDonough happened again.
Martinez, what you think about that fight?
Didn't see it.
But how it played out, were you impressed with Cotto?
I didn't see it.
Big fight this weekend, Sergio Martinez, Miguel Cotto. Dominating performance by Miguel Cotto. Your thoughts on the fight? And did it go the way you thought it would?
I knew that it really depended on what Martinez you were going to get. And we didn't get the Martinez that we all came to, you know, as fans have grown to love. I don't know what Martinez that was, but that wasn't the Martinez that boxed circles around Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who was 180 pounds. The guy was able to move, you know, with Macklin and all those bigger guys. That wasn't the same Martinez. So, I mean, Cotto did what he was supposed to do. I think it was a perfect setup for him to make history. He didn't try to make history with no Golovkin or no real 160-pounders. You know, they chose the right opponent for him to make history, and he did what he was supposed to do. You know, props to Cotto. I mean, he was supposed to come in there and win the fight, and that's what he did. But I'm not 100%. I'm not sold on him. You know, being a middleweight. I thought, like I said before, I thought that was the perfect opponent. Martinez just looked old and worn out. Like I said, yeah, he didn't. He literally boxed circles around a bigger, stronger guy. You know, he couldn't even really move. I mean, you could come and say that, yeah, that first shot he never recuperated from it, but come on, he been hit by bigger, stronger guys. You know what I'm saying? He was able to bounce back. He's been dropped before and came back and gave us hell of a fight. So I don't think that was the same Martinez that we're building the fight up to be. And of course he's not going to go in there and start blaming his knees and blaming his hands. He's a true champion. He going to say, you know, that Cotto was a better man, and he probably was, but Martinez was not 100%. And I don't care what you tell me, he couldn't even stand straight in the first round. And I mean, Cotto is a strong guy, don't get me wrong, but he been hit much harder and came back much stronger. So I think the health and all them wars, you know, just caught up to him. But Miguel Cotto did what he was supposed to do. You know, that didn't matter to him. You know, he did it, he went in there and he handled his business. So props to him. You know, he became the first Puerto Rican to make history, and they set it up perfectly for him to do that.
So Cotto is getting a ton of praise for his performance, but in your opinion, it's more of a what Sergio Martinez didn't do rather than what Cotto did.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, like I said, I've seen Martinez box circles around bigger, stronger guys. The man couldn't move in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, you can go look back in history, look at all the athletes. Once they tear their ACL, they never come back the same. Perfect example, Derrick Rose. Tore his ACL, came back, and tore the other one. You know what I'm saying? You never come back as strong with that serious of an injury.
Right.
So I mean, praise to Cotto. You know, he did do some things that you know, has never been done in history, and especially for Puerto Ricans to go up 4 divisions. But like I said, that was a perfect opponent. They didn't try to make history against no Golovkin or against no Peter Quillen or against no, you know, a true middleweight champion in their prime. You know, like I said, they picked the perfect opponent. But, you know, Cotto did what he was supposed to do. He looked strong. You know, him working with Freddie definitely got his confidence up, you know, and you know, he's on a roll, but I'm not completely sold on him.
So every time someone has a good performance that's anywhere near Floyd's weight, they obviously want that fight, so that's the newest thing everyone's wanting, Cotto and Floyd too.
Floyd to fight at middleweight. Come on, Floyd can't even get up to 150. If Floyd fights at middleweight, he has to not train and just fight. That's the only way he's going to come in over 153, 154 pounds. Floyd can come in the gym right now, be 155. He trains one day, he back down to 150.
What about if they fight at a lower weight?
If they fight at a lower weight, it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same thing. Like a lot of, I mean, They built Cotto's confidence perfectly. You know, props to his promoter. They've been doing the great things. But, I mean, a victory over Delvin Rodriguez, who was really fighting on a lot of ESPN cards and who wasn't that big of a name to begin with, for him to knock him out, and then an older Martinez, like I'm not, like I said, I'm not 100 completely sold on them. Those are 2 perfect opponents they did. You know, we just gonna forget what Trout did to him. How Trout, you know, oh yeah, it was a different coach. Yeah, it was, but it was still the same fighter. You know, so I'm not completely sold on him just yet. You know, I think his confidence is back. You know, I think he's feeling himself much better. So anybody that you do put in front of him is going to be a tough fight. But these last 2 performances, you know, they were tailor-made for him. But he did what he had to do, and you know, props to him.